The show for Blue Knights 2024 is called BusK, and we really wanted to key in on who the Blue Knights are. If we're going to spend 90 days of our time working on something so dynamic as this, it needs to be something that they can relate to and something that speaks from their hearts.
A busker is an entertainer that performs in a public place for a living.
Each busker, just like each member, brings their own talent and skill to the table. I wanted to key in on the energy that street performers give to a performance art. Buskers take their art and they go from town to town, street corner to street corner, unpacking their things and trying to wow the crowd and gain their attention for a living. And there's a direct parallel with drum corps, because we take all of our horns, our flags, our drums, and our show, we unpack it and we pour our hearts out to the crowd, only to gain their attention, to pack it all up, to move to the next town. And we have just a little bit of time to wow the audience and get them on our side and get them to understand who we are. The mood is mysterious at the beginning. We start in this confined space, this finite fixed space, and wherever they're going to perform, that environment is not a theater, but their creativity is what transforms that space into their theater. That parallels with the drum corps activity, because we have to come into a stadium. We all know that we're relegated to 100 yards and bleachers and all of the fixed things. But we bring all of our unique performance qualities and our unique performance elements, and we transform that football field into our theater. That's one of the objectives of the show, is to make sure that we take our space and transform it into many different things. And that's the journey of the show as we go along. Over time, the audience gets a little bit more comfortable with the journey, and then we take them on a journey through all kinds of emotional landscapes. And at the end, we just put them all together into one big dynamic presentation. A street performer, they usually have some regalia that is a little bit of a relic, a little bit distressed, a little bit, there's a story that you can see in the costuming. We want to bring some of that uniqueness to our costuming. It has a little bit of element of edge, a little bit of punk rock, a little bit of mystery to it, but it's uniquely BK, and you'll see some iconic things on there, much like the dots. All of those muted tones with the core proper is going to set a backdrop for the vibrance that we have with the color guard, using teals and fuchsias and magentas and all of these bright colors that kind of offset each other. The props, we wanted to do something a little bit abstract and a little bit artistic. We chose 12 stages that have poles that will represent our fixed environment. And then those props and shapes are going to take different forms to set the stage. And we're also going to use little circle props that'll serve as almost like a currency. Overall, I want the membership to form a bond within each other. I want them to leave this summer having an elevated experience, knowing that they brought their individual talents to the table that collectively brought all of them together and make something that's uniquely BK. And that's what BK 24 is all about this year.